Hey everybody, it's Alex at Motoroso.com, your dedicated mods marketplace. And today we're in the studio to do an installation how-to guide on the brand new SkyJacker 3-inch lift kit for the Toyota Tacoma, which includes replacement front and rear shocks and upper control arm, all at under $900. That part number is TC536STUB, and we'll put a link to that product in the description, as well as our product spotlight video where we talk about all the details of that product. In this video, we're going to show you how to install it step by step. We're also going to be installing 17-inch Pro Comp wheels with 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2 tires. So by the end of this video, this truck's going to be looking a-okay. Now you can shop for these products and all of your mod needs at Motoroso.com, where you can browse over 1 million top name brand products sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and the shipping is always free with no minimum. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all of our other videos, including our builds like our 2019 Raptor bolt-on build and our brand new 2020 C8 Corvette, which we just got and we are super excited about. Let's go. As I mentioned, we made a product spotlight about this lift kit from SkyJacker, so make sure you check out that video if you want to know all the details of the product. But we have a lot to install here, okay? So up in the front, we're going to be replacing the shock itself, which is a McPherson strut. We have to swap over the spring and the top hat from the stock shock. To do that, you're going to need a spring compressor. We sell some nice cheap ones on Motoroso.com that work just great. That's what we're using in this video. We highly recommend picking up 1 or 2 sets of those when you're working on these trucks. It makes sense to have 2 sets just to be extra safe. And then we're going to be replacing the upper control arm as well. And what's cool about that is that it makes it actually easier to get the McPherson strut in and out. And then in the rear, we're going to be installing block lifts and the new shock. And this should be a pretty easy video to follow along with step by step. There are a lot of steps, but you can almost certainly do this in your driveway with a buddy and a basic set of tools. Let's get started.
Tools you'll need for this job include 10 through 21mm sockets and a ratchet to match, hammer, pliers, panel puller, a pry bar, spring compressors, which we'll link to in the show notes, as well as a 17mm ratcheting combo wrench and vice grips. Start by jacking up the truck and putting it on jack stands. Remove your front wheels. Remove the brake line brackets using a 12mm for the lower mount and a 10mm for the upper. Remove the sway bar end link from the drop knuckle. Remove the cotter pin from the tie rod and remove the tie rod by separating the arm from the knuckle using a hammer and hitting on the flat portion of the drop knuckle. Remove the upper control arm cotter pin and loosen the 17mm castle nut, but do not fully remove the castle nut as the upper control arm is under tension. With the castle nut loosened again, hit the flat portion of the drop knuckle with a hammer to release the tension on the upper control arm ball joint. Rotate the sway bar up to gain clearance for the shock. Loosen the 3 14mm upper mounting nuts for the shock. Remove the 17mm lower mounting bolt for the strut. Now you're ready to remove the strut. Remove the 5 plastic pop clips for the dust covers in the wheel well. Undo the 12mm bolt on the uppermost brake line mount found in the wheel well. Loosen the 16mm upper control arm mounting bolt. Now apparently the engineers at Toyota thought that they created the greatest ball joint ever, so you're gonna have to do some sheet metal modification in order to remove the bolt and ultimately remove the upper control arm. A pry bar or a big punch will help push the bolt through and out of the mounting position. Make alignment marks on the top hat of the coilover before disassembly. Compress the spring to release the tension on the top hat. Remove the top hat using a 17mm ratcheting wrench and some vice grips to hold the strut. Install the new strut through the OEM spring with the spring compressors still installed. Reinstall the OEM top hat, making sure to get it fully tight. After getting the top hat fully tightened down in the correct position, carefully remove the spring compressors. Install the new upper control arm using the OEM and their obnoxiously long bolt, leaving it loose for the time being. Install the newly assembled strut reusing the OEM 14mm nuts to mount the top half first. Line up and install the lower mounting bolt and nut, then tighten it down fully. With the lower mounting point of the strut fully tightened, begin tightening the upper 14mm mounting nuts. Press the upper control arm ball joint into the drop knuckle and then use a torque wrench to tighten it to 83 foot-pounds of torque. Reinstall the lower ABS bracket. Install the upper bracket onto the upper control arm. Reinstall the tie rod end, making sure to align the castle nut for the cotter pin. Tighten your upper control arm to 88 foot-pounds of torque. Reinstall the uppermost brake line and put the 2 dust covers back in place with the 5 pop clips you removed earlier. Install your new 33-inch wheel and tire combination that fits with the new lift. With the new lift on the 4-wheel drive models, you'll need to space out the front differential to avoid noise, vibration, and harshness in the drivetrain. Now, we already had a spacer kit installed due to the leveling kit was previously installed on the vehicle. Start by removing the skid pan on the bottom to gain access to the differential. Loosen the 2 differential mounting bolts. Support the differential with a jack. Remove the mounting bolts for the differential. Again, ours is a little bit different from OEM. Let the differential sag down low enough to slide the spacers into place using the supplied hardware. Install the new 21mm bolts, washers, and the nuts, tightening down to 80 foot-pounds of torque. Remove the jack used to support the differential. Reinstall the skid plate by sliding it into the front mounting points and letting it hang while sliding the supplied spacers into place. Use the supplied 13mm bolts and reinstall the skid plate. Moving to the rear, jack up the truck and remove the wheels. Remove the 15mm lower mounting bolt for the strut. Holding the top of the strut with a crescent wrench or vice grips, remove the 14mm upper mounting nut. Remove the 12mm bolt for the emergency brake line mounting bracket on the leaf spring. Undo the brake line bracket from the axle. With the jack still under the axle, begin removing the U-bolts. Support the drive shaft with a jack stand and slowly lower down the axle from the leaf springs. Now the spacers are directional, so make sure to pay attention to the taper as you slide them into place. With both spacers in place, jack up the axle back into position. Install the new U-bolts supplied by SkyJacker reusing the OEM pinch bracket. Make sure to tighten down the U-bolts in a crisscross pattern. Install the new e-brake extension bracket. Reinstall the brake line bracket to the axle. Assemble the new shocks by installing the lower dust cover and pressing the bush cover. Assemble the new shocks by installing the lower dust cover and pressing the bushing and bushing inserts into place on the lower mounting point. Install the new strut, making sure that you put all the bushings in the right place and in the right order. So starting from the strut, it's going to go metal washer, bushing, that'll press up against the mount point, then on the other side of the mount point you're going to have bushing, washer, then nut. Slide the lower mount into place. You might need a little bit of help from your hammer of persuasion to reuse the OEM 15mm bolt. After tightening the lower mount, tighten the upper mount. Put your rear wheels back on and you've just completed the installation of SkyJacker's brand new 3-inch lift kit.
All right, everybody, that wraps up our installation guide for this brand new SkyJacker 3-inch lift kit on our 2018 Tacoma. This does fit 2016 to 2020 and probably a little bit beyond. It's only 2020 now, so we'll have to see how the model's changed. Now, this part number is TC536STUB. It only costs around $900, includes all 4 shocks and the upper control arms. The kit looks fantastic, especially when it's combined with our 17-inch Pro Comp wheels and 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2 tires. The whole installation is done. We showed you step by step, but of course the last thing that you do need now is an alignment. Very important. You can even see here from the shot that it definitely looks a little wonky and just need to get that alignment front and rear to make sure that the truck is good to go. You can shop for this kit, these wheels and tires, and over 1 million top name brand products sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and the shipping is always free with no minimum at Motoroso.com, and we have live agents and a 1-800 line to help you find the products that you're looking for. If you like this video, give it a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because we got lots of other great installation guides, builds, including our 2019 bolt-on Raptor build, as well as our 2020 C8 Corvette project, and much more coming soon. Thanks for watching.